watching Look East from the BBC. Coming up, a weather warning of very strong winds. Dan will have the forecast. And we meet the Cambridge genetics scientist heading down under to play for England at the Commonwealth Games. Now, all this week, we're looking at mental health. And for those who reach rock bottom, it can mean they are detained under the Mental Health Act for their own safety. But is locking people up the only way to help them recover? Well, Springbank Ward is for women with borderline personality disorder, which often means they self-harm and have suicidal tendencies. They've introduced treatment based on therapy and recovery, rather than restraint and sedation. It's seen incidents fall from almost 200 a month to just 3. Well, Anna Todd has been given exclusive access to the ward to talk to the patients there.
24/7, it's I don't want to self-harm, I'm not going to self-harm, but I need to, I want to, and I'm completely split in two. I'm two different people inside, like with the voices and the constant battle between the two sides.
Last October, 19-year-old Sophie came to Springbank Ward in Fulbourn, a 12-bed unit for women with BPD, borderline personality disorder. Here, no one is sectioned under the Mental Health Act. That is lifted on arrival. Over their year-long stay, patients and staff live and work as a community. The values are respect, recovery and safety, but there are no rules.
I had the freedom to go out and buy things to hurt myself with. And I'd go into town, buy stuff, come back, self-harm. I'd run off, I'd take overdoses, go to Tesco's, buy paracetamol, and on my way back to the ward, take an overdose. But first of all, I hated it. I just wanted everyone to stop me from going, so I didn't have that responsibility.
Springbank used to be more traditional, restrictions, restraints and injections to sedate patients. But with an environment now based on therapy and trust, those methods are rarely, if ever, used.
What we also believe is that you can't really force people with this diagnosis to get better. And as soon as you start forcing things, the relationship breaks down and the trust breaks down.
Patients are risk assessed before they leave the site. Then they simply sign in and out.
Like when I first came here, I would go out and like literally buy lots of like sharp objects and stuff like that to hurt myself with. And then now like I just come back and hand everything in. Like whatever if I bought something, then I'd hand it back in.
So sometimes you still buy things?
Yeah, and but I like give it to them because I can't I don't like lying about it and stuff like that.
There has been recent criticism of secure mental health units where patients have been able to take their own lives. Could Springbank Ward be opening itself up to problems?
We are dealing with a high level of risk. So the natural tendency is to try to contain that, to prevent any incidents that then will prevent you ending up in court. I think that, although understandable, that is not, that reasoning is not helpful and it leads to worse outcomes.
Borderline personality disorder is a complex condition characterised by emotional and social instability. Specialist therapy helps give patients tools to cope in the real world.
These are all the skills, well, the majority of the skills that we've learned. I just put them on a poster because it's more visual.
Jazz was sectioned early last year at the age of 21 after years in and out of hospital. She says Springbank has changed her, showed her life is worth living. She'll be discharged next month.
212 days. That's how long I've been self-harm free. So.
And you keep a record of that?
Yeah, I have a star chart.
And do you sometimes look at that and think, I can't believe that was me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Because if someone said to me this time last year that I'd be doing this well and be this many days clean, I probably would have laughed and cried because I didn't believe it was possible.
And Anna's here now. Anna, obviously really powerful stories there. What else will we be looking at this week?
Well, we're going to be looking at the increasing role that schools are playing in helping prevent mental health issues in children, including the primary school wellbeing wheel, and what secondary schools are doing to try and destigmatise mental health. On Thursday, we'll focus on a new medical trial that's about to start into a whole new way of treating depression, because for some people they think it maybe isn't about the physical things, it's not about, I'm getting confused, it's about the mental things, not the physical things, and even something as simple as a trip to the dentist.
Anna, thank you very much indeed. Now, the Commonwealth Games in Australia